my channel if you're new here. My name is Jess. Today is going to be a very different video because we're actually talking about movies. I spoke about in the beginning of the month that I wanted to incorporate more like fall things in my life. Now, it is almost 90 degrees today here in Ohio. I don't know what the fuck the weather is doing, but I did want to talk about movies that I like to cuddle up with. I tend to put on a fall themed movie and read. I don't know if that's strange for you guys, but I always have to have some kind of background noise going on. So I did want to talk about, I have 6 videos here that I absolutely love that are always putting me in the fall spirit. I'm going to start with the most predictable ones and then move on to ones that maybe you haven't heard of, or maybe you didn't see it in the way that I see it, but I thought something like this would be kind of fun. So if you guys are interested, let's go ahead and just get started. Now, what kind of fall video would it be without talking about Harry Potter? Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Harry Potter is always playing on my TV pretty much 24/7, but when it comes to the fall time, I actually sit down and watch the videos. Now, as a kid, when I went and saw them, I could see the glaring potholes because I had just recently read them as they were, you know, like as they made the movies. Obviously there was like some space in between them, but I still really enjoy the movies as a whole. They definitely make me feel that warm fuzzy feeling, and not just because I'm such a fan of Harry Potter. I think even if you haven't read the books, I think the movies are still definitely worth watching. You can kind of get the overall vibe and feel of the books in it, but it's definitely one of my first #1 pick for the fall season. Now we're going to talk about one of my most favorite movies of all time. I know every single word to this movie. I know every single song to this movie. I used to have a life-size doll of Sally Stitch. It is Nightmare Before Christmas. I have a Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo. I love that movie. I love everything about it. I love the music is so beautifully written in it, and it's so spoopy but without being too scary. Like, obviously it is for younger children. I love Tim Burton. I love every single movie that Tim Burton has done. I love every single book that he has written. I do have The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy on my shelves as well. I think that Tim is just overall a wonderful person, and I love the way that he kind of makes spooky a little bit more popular. Obviously I'm into incredibly spooky things. I love horror movies. I love stuff like that. I'm not going to be talking about those in this video, however. That'll be coming later on in October. But if you're a fan of Tim Burton, if you're a fan of any kind of like stop animation kind of stuff, I think that you'll really love this movie. I don't know anyone who hasn't seen it, but by chance if you have not, I would definitely go ahead and try to rent it, find it somewhere and watch it. Hell, I would just suggest buying it. But if you have obviously seen it, you will know that it is the perfect fall movie. So now moving into another predictable movie with my favorite witches, it would be Hocus Pocus with the Sanderson sisters. If you have not seen this movie, where have you been? It is absolutely wonderful. It is about witches who are kind of woken up on Halloween in this small town. Now, I want to live in this town. It's like my dream town, minus obviously incredibly spooky things happening, but Hocus Pocus is definitely one of those classic quintessential fall movies. Definitely like closer to Halloween, but still like it gives you that vibe. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend that movie as well. Speaking of witches that we absolutely love, I constantly want to watch this movie, and I always kind of hold back and wait until the fall months happen because it's definitely one of those movies where you like light candles, bundle up on the couch and watch it, and it is practical magic. I actually met someone recently who didn't even know that this movie existed. It is Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, and they're witch sisters, and they kind of go completely separate paths. But they live in this like little bubble with their grandmothers. I don't know if they're their grandmothers, but they live in this little bubble with their grandmothers, and they live in this house together, and they grow up in this house, and they do like chanting by moonlight, they do like rituals and things like that, but it's not spooky. It's such a heartwarming witch tale. It is such a wonderful movie. If you guys have not seen it, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely my quintessential fall movie. I fucking love this movie so much. Like I said, I will watch it all year round because I love Sandra Bullock, but I do prefer to watch it in the more cozier months. So if you guys haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend Practical Magic as well. Now, the next movie that I have here is actually a movie that is adapted from a book. It is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I love Neil Gaiman. A couple of his books have been kind of hit or miss for me recently, but I did want to include Coraline, as well as reading Coraline. I think it would be a very great idea. A lot of people on my fall reads book did bring up that I didn't mention Coraline, and I was trying not to, but yeah, definitely Coraline. If you have not seen the movie, it is more of a stop animation kind of movie. It is a little bit creepy. It is about a girl whose family kind of gets taken over, and then this woman kind of wants her to accept her as her mother. It's very hard to explain, but it is such a wonderful movie. It is a little bit creepy, but yeah, it's definitely aimed more towards a younger generation, like a younger audience, but it's still very good. Now, the last movie I have on here is a little bit different. It is October Sky. If you guys have not seen October Sky, it is Jake Gyllenhaal. He's like the main character, and he is essentially from this very small town, and he's trying to better himself. Now, this movie is more of a sciencey movie. He does make like rockets, and that's like what he wants to do with his life. But for some reason, the setting of this movie just automatically takes me back to fall. I've seen this movie hundreds of times. I absolutely love it. It has a great cast in it as well, so if you are not familiar with the movie, I would definitely say go ahead and pick that up as well. I love science. I love the city that they live in. I just love everything everything about this story. So a little bit of a different video for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to just talk about all my favorite fall movies because the season is upon us, guys. Like, even though it's 90 degrees outside, I absolutely refuse to accept the fall is not here. All the leaves are changing. I don't know what it is with the weather here in Ohio, but it is definitely fall. It is like orange and red everywhere right now. There's like not a hint of green. So I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!